Well, hello, boys and girls. This is our next Sanford and Harmony lesson. It's called The Other Path to School. What does it mean to have something in common with someone else? What is something you have in common with someone else here? So I was thinking about this because a lot of our brag bags contained family members. Father, one child was sharing about his dad, another about grandparents, another about their Mimi. Those are things you have in common. You all shared somebody you love. So let's read the story, and as you listen, think about what do these characters have in common. Every morning at 8 o'clock, Mia and Jordan met at the great oak tree in the middle of the park to walk to school together. They always took the shortest path from the treehouse to Harmony Street School so that they would have lots of time to play before the bell rang. One morning they raced to school quickly, eager to have another contest hanging from the monkey bars. They both loved the monkey bars. When they got to the schoolyard, they ran straight to the jungle gym. They stared right at each other and tried not to laugh as they hung onto the monkey bars for as long as they could. "Whew! I give up," said Mia, letting go of her bar. "My arms are tired." Jordan dropped to the ground a second later and laughed. "Finally! I thought you were going to beat me for the 4th day in a row. You're really strong." The kids stood up, brushed the sand off their clothes, and saw Max and his twin sister Maddie dashing through the gate on the other side of the playground, just as the bell began to ring. Max and Maddie were new in their class this year. Mia and Jordan didn't know them very well yet, but they did know that every day they got to school at the very last minute. The next morning, Mia and Jordan met at the treehouse and headed down the path to school. They heard some laughter in the distance and turned around to see Max and Maddie walking down a different path that went in the opposite direction. "Where are those two going?" Mia wondered. Jordan shrugged. "I don't know, but that's probably why they never get to school on time." "Maybe they don't know the shortcut," said Mia. "We should ask them to walk with us." "But we don't even know them," answered Jordan. "Wouldn't that be kind of weird? What would we talk about all the way to school?" "Well," said Mia, "let's at least find out where they're going." They decided to follow Max and Maddie down the other path. It was hard to keep up with the twins because they were walking so fast. By the time Mia and Jordan reached the curve in the path, Max and Maddie had disappeared. Where'd they go? "Now we'll never know where they were going," said Jordan. Suddenly they heard giggling from behind some nearby bushes, and out jumped Max and Maddie. "You were hiding from us," said Mia. "Well, you were following us," replied Max. Jordan and Mia's cheeks turned red. "Yeah, we were," they admitted. "Why do you think their cheeks turned red?" "Why didn't you just ask us where we were going?" wondered Max. Jordan looked at him shyly. "Wouldn't it have been weird if we just started talking to you? Actually, it would be nice to have others to talk to on the way to school," said Max. "We don't really know anyone else yet." "Hey, everybody," called Maddie from down the path. "Let's hurry so we're not late for school." The 4 kids hurried down the path until they came to a tree with a pile of rocks next to the trunk. "This is the place," said Max. He quickly climbed up the tree and scooted onto a sturdy branch. Then he pointed ahead, saying excitedly, "Look at this." It was a bird's nest with 3 tiny eggs. "We found this last week, so we've been coming every morning to see if the eggs have hatched," Maddie explained. "I've never seen a baby bird," said Jordan, "but I do have a pet parrot. He's really funny when he tries to imitate me. Sometimes he even tries to imitate the doorbell when it rings." Maddie laughed and said, "Well, our dogs bark every time the doorbell rings, so it sounds like we both have some really noisy pets." So see, boys and girls, that's something they have in common. They both have noisy pets. "You can come up and see the nest as long as you don't bother the eggs," called Max from above. "Or you can look through my binoculars," offered Maddie. "I don't like climbing high like Max does, so I just use these." Jordan and Mia thought about the monkey bars and laughed. "We're pretty good at climbing too," they answered, as they scrambled up the tree to take a closer look at the nest. So that's something they have in common. They're both good at climbing. Pretty soon it was time to go to school, so the kids headed back down the path together and talked about all the other places they had explored in the park. Mia and Jordan told their new friends about the dry creek bed with the shiny river stones, and Max and Maddie told them about their hiding spot under a huge weeping willow tree. The kids decided to meet at the park after school to see what new places they could discover together. Just as they arrived at school, the bell began to ring. The 4 kids walked into their classroom. Here are some good questions and statements that parents, you can discuss with your child about this story. Everyday moments and discussion and activities. Like discuss what it means to have something in common with someone else. Focus today on things that maybe they have in common with their siblings or their other friends or with you, their parents or their grandparents. Now, before we continue, I want to get out of here, and I'm going to show you something very cool, which is our new Seesaw blog. So you have your Seesaw here. You can see there's posts I have not reviewed yet. I will get to those. Over here, it says blog. If you click on that, you will see that this is now our new blog. You can see everyone's work on here if you share it to your blog. So I've shared these today. These are our 3 brag bag sharers. We have Chastity, we have Zamari, and we have Nolan, okay? And this is something I had shared yesterday on the blog because when I went to visit Jordan's house, I saw that she had saved all her passwords here and her name here, and our Bitmojis are here and the schedule. It was very cool to me. I thought, what a great idea to save all your passwords. So your job today is to comment. So what you're going to do when you see that there's something on the blog that you want to comment, then you just click comment or touch it on your iPad, and then you start typing. You type whatever you want in there, like great job or something maybe you have in common. I have a Mimi too, something like that. So that is your job today, is to comment on the blog. If you ever want to add something to the blog, you're proud of your work, and let's say you're going to go here. Oops. Let me go back and be a sample student. Sorry about that, guys. I'll be a sample student. So let's say you're on your name. You'll press the green add button. And I can go here. And let's say I did something I was very proud of here. Let's say I do a really cool picture. You know, I drew like a tree, a whole scene, and you'll have an iPad and you'll have your finger to do this. Miss M's using a mouse, so it makes it a little bit trickier. But let's just say you're drawing a nice scene and you want to share this with me, okay? Let's say you want to color. If you want to color, you want to do the big circle, okay? Then I'll go back to my skinny one and I can do some rays of the sun coming out. Having some details. Let's say I don't like that line. I can go to my eraser. There we go. I don't like that one either. Then we can go back to here. And we can do it the way we want. It's my sun, okay? And then maybe down here, I've got my ground, because we've got some ground here. And maybe you want to draw some, is there a darker green? Maybe you want to draw some flowers. I think I'll do a purple flower. Okay. I'll go back to the thin and maybe I want to draw some leaves. You want that one. Okay. And maybe you want to make a pretty butterfly. Let's make a butterfly flying here. Butterfly with some wings. Let's see, make it very fine. I can do some dots. Okay, and I want to upload that. That's me, sample student. Now, if I'm very proud of that and I want to share it to the blog, you just click this globe. Click. It says publish this item to the blog. You can say publish to the blog. And then Miss M will get an announcement that will say so-and-so wants to add something, and I'll say okay or maybe not okay. Just depends what it is. So great job today. Have fun with this. I love and miss you. Bye-bye.